challenging piece, and there was enough challenge in it that it was not a good idea to play it. We actually didn't start on it until about 2 weeks ago, really working on it in earnest. And it's a difficult tune. The reality of it is it's a grade 3 chart, which is basically high school music, so it was just a step too far. And they were doing a really nice job with it, but it's nice that it's a nice job, but it's painful to listen to. You're welcome. This next tune presents its own set of challenges. The Russian folk fantasy is based on some themes that maybe you might even recognize. Typical kind of cliche Russian dance music. And you can imagine the Cossacks down with one. I'm not doing it for you. And the reason I'm not doing it for you is because you're not really supposed to do it if you don't have the hat in it. It's the truth. Anyway. They don't believe it. This tune, the challenge that it presents, number one, is that it starts off pretty fast and you've got to catch that tempo. But what really is the problem with it is later it slows down and then it speeds up again, but it can't just suddenly speed up. It's got to speed up in a very natural progression. And so it's a difficult thing to accomplish when you've been playing the horn for 1 year. Now the band in front of you is a mixture of kids who started very first day this year, they've never touched a horn, and some kids who on the very first day were entering their 4th year of playing. So it's a real odd mix that we have with this group. But that's, well, under the current situation, that's how we're set up. And the band last year, who was the beginning band, would not have reached this level, and it's because the kids who were really good were dragging them along. So the advanced players actually prospered under this setup. The problem, of course, is going to be, can they go back to the beginning of the book for the beginners next year? So that's something that I don't have to deal with, but no one should have to. Anyway, yeah, I did say that. Okay. Anyway, so the fact is that this tune creates kind of a challenge for them to be able to speed that up and then slow it down again. And in the middle of all of that, there's one section that's really slow. They're not allowed to speed up, and so they don't. And so it works really well. It's a really cool tune. And this is the first group that I've had in a long time to play. Russian folk fantasy. All right, so this is, if you hadn't figured out, my last concert here. And this has been, for me, one of the most interesting years in the middle school band that I've ever had. Class doesn't always go smoothly in school. And sometimes they were ready to kill me. I was incredibly gentle and for once lost my temper. And it has really been a good year. And of course, now the people who are in the room, who are in the high school band now, are going to go, no. And people who are, there's a lot of people, thank you all, there's a whole bunch of people from my past here. And all the good people from my past here. I like to count out one guy's some money still. But anyway, I swear he's cheating at some stuff. And of all the bands that I've had as a beginning group, this has been really probably the most interesting, and they've progressed farther from where the group started as an average to where they are right now. I could have chosen another tune, I suppose, for them, for their high school attempt. And the real issue is that we have, in a situation like this, kids who are in 6th grade, kids who are in 8th grade, those 8th graders got to be ready next year to be in the high school band. Every year, those 8th graders, whether they started that year, or whether they started when they were at the elementary school, when they go into their freshman year, they got to be ready. So that's the challenge, because in order to have them ready, you have to have them all ready. So theoretically, every one of these kids sitting in front of you right now could play with the high school band. And therein lies, I guess, the big part of that problem that we face here. So hopefully, because I was certainly unable, and our building administrator said thank you so much to both buildings for having my back on that, because we fought really hard to not have this situation. And we just, for whatever reason, couldn't win that battle. So hopefully that battle will get fought again. And it would be really cool to be part of it. So, you know, you have kids here, 6th graders, stand up. 6th graders, there's not a lot of them, right? But here, right? So we have these 6th graders, a couple of people missing. 7th graders, stand up. Right? And then the rest of them who are sitting are all 8th graders. And so thank you. The 6th graders, some of them were beginners, some of them, one student had transferred from another school and had already been playing for a while. But there were kids, there was 8th graders who started this year, you know, and is going to be in high school next year. You know, he's ready for that. And that's great. The problem is going to be for the 6th grader this year, you know. And so what they're all talking about doing is maybe switching horns so they can stay in band. Because these kids don't join band to get the credit in high school for being in a fine arts class. Now, they all think of themselves, yes, they will all think of their own musicians. And they're going to prove it to you right now. Yeah. band, but I've had a great time working with these guys. If you want to hear them again, show up at the 8th grade ceremony, because they will be, some of these folks will be playing. In fact, a couple of the guys who are going to graduate have asked me if they can play in the group. And I said, without asking the principal, I said, sorry.